If you're looking to get into Amazon FBA in 2022, today I'm going to be breaking down exactly how much it costs to launch your business the right way. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is make sure you set up your infrastructure. Our goal is to take the liability outside of our personal lives and put it into the business. Therefore, we need to form what we call an LLC if you're in the United States or an incorporation if you're in Canada. You can do that for as little as $150 if you do it by yourself using sites such as LegalZoom or incorporating your business in Canada on the registry website for your specific province. What you're gonna wanna do now is set up a virtual bank account that is 110% free using websites such as wise.com. This is where we're actually gonna go ahead and receive our payment and make any transactions that we need to do, whether they be paying our suppliers or directly paying ourselves and moving that into a local bank account. Now, once you guys have actually found your product, the second cost, and probably the most costly thing that you're gonna actually put your budget into, is actually acquiring your product. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is sample that product, make sure it's actually quality. So in order to do that, we may incur maybe $150. We typically get samples for free using some of the negotiation tactics that we have, but you can spend anywhere between $5 to $50 per sample, and we recommend getting at least 2, if not 3 samples from different suppliers. Once we're actually confident in the supplier that we wanna move forward with, what we're gonna do is put our investment into actually purchasing some bulk inventory. So as you can see on my screen here, we're actually able to source a garlic press for as little as $1.60 if we order only 10 units. So for the sake of the private label approach that we take, what we're actually gonna do is add the cost of packaging and some other things that may need to change in order to stand out on the marketplace, and just assume that our cost per unit is gonna be $2. Times that by 500 units, we're now looking at about $1,000 in inventory costs. The next thing that we need to do is actually get the product all the way from China into the United States. I think it's a safe assumption that our shipping cost is typically gonna be 20% of what you pay for your inventory. So 20% of $1,000 is gonna be $200 for our shipping, getting that on the sea in about 30 to 45 days into Amazon's warehouses. The next thing is the listing. The listing, in my opinion, is one of the most important things because there are a lot of people that sell on Amazon that don't optimize for the search engine. Therefore, they aren't actually trying to populate for relevant terms that our buyers, our target market, are actually searching for. I recommend using the FBAstudio.com to purchase their Zero to Hero package, which will give you everything from branding, creating your actual infographics and getting product photography done or 3D renders, creating the actual listing copywriting that will allow you to actually populate for specific terms that your target market is going after, and also giving you revisions and things along those lines that allow you to really stand out on the Amazon marketplace. After we have our listing finished and ready, we are ready to launch. Now our launch is typically about 10% of the projected revenue of what we plan to make on Amazon. So if we're selling a garlic press for $15 and we have 500 units, then we're typically spending about 10% of that, which is about $750. So the total cost that we can spend to start our first private label Amazon FBA business in 2022 is a whopping only $3,500. Now, like I said, that is if you do it right. That is the approach that I take. I like to go after high quality materials, especially for my listing. But if you're one that is maybe a little bit more budget focused and it's really trying to fine tune what that looks like and maybe want to run a little bit more lean on the front end, there are definitely things that you can do that will actually save you some money. So you can use websites such as Fiverr.com where you're hiring freelancers at a significantly less cost. Now, one thing that I'll really challenge you on is it may not be as quality as opposed to a studio that specifically specializes in Amazon FBA. But on Fiverr.com, you can find, things and packages that are significantly less as opposed to a cost of $12.50. Now, if you're looking to save some costs and maybe you want to start with a little bit of a less budget, you're very hungry, you want to start this side hustle, there are 2 different areas that I recommend that you could potentially explore some other options. Okay, the first one is your optimization phase. So instead of using the FBA Studio, which is a very premium based studio that provides very high quality work and even more so really understands the Amazon platform, you can use sites like Fiverr where you can actually contract your work out to freelancers at a significantly less cost. Now, I just want to challenge you on that you may not see as good results because you may not be as optimized for the engine. So just make sure that if you're doing that, you're really fine tuning that, you're doing some good quality control on the work that's submitted to you and making sure that your listing actually is good for the Amazon platform. So instead of spending $12.50 for the Zero to Hero package with Amazon or with the FBA Studio, you can spend as little as $200 to $400 depending on the things that you're wanting to get. And the second area that you could save some cost on, when I said $750 for launch costs, that is assuming that you're using Amazon's advertising platform to launch directly to their audience. If you want to cut that cost out, you can launch through influencers where you're just exchanging free product. Keep in mind, we're only paying $250, including shipping costs, in order to acquire that first product in the first place. So you're really spending a very low cost, and you can actually launch with their audience and try to get them to purchase through that. One thing I'll mention is very dependent on the product if you want to use influencers, but if you dive into communities or other free resources where you're tapping into some warm traffic, there is opportunity to really have a launch without any advertising. If you guys saw value in this video, it was pretty quick, and I kind of went over a little bit of the process, so to speak, but I break it down in a lot more detail and actually share my screen on certain things that you can do in order to start your Amazon FBA business in 2022 in only 10 minutes. I'm gonna leave it right up here for you guys to view. If you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. We look forward to seeing you in the future.